Hey guys, it is John C Morley here, serial entrepreneur. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into, yes, Inspirations for Your Life, where we motivate you. I am your podcast host and, of course, your podcast coach. And if you see that QR code at the top right hand corner of the screen, all you need to do is grab your phone and basically point over that QR code like so. Touch the yellow ellipse, so just take a second. You'll get my link tree as easy as that. But if you're not watching me and you're, only listening like on an audio podcast, etc., well, then definitely go to believemeachieve.com for my more of my amazing, inspiring creations. We had a great interview last night with Zachary Leiden from California, telling us all about horses. But I want to say thank you to all of you, whether you're here at 6 p.m. at night, 6 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight. Makes no difference, potato, potato. I'm just so happy that you're here with me and to celebrate another great show here on Inspiration for Your Life. First, I do want to say a big thank you to everyone. You know what that thank you is? Well, Inspirations for Your Life has grown again. Yes. We are now, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually over uh, 30,000 downloads. 30,000 downloads. I mean, that's phenomenal. Our next mission is to hit 50,000 downloads and then 100,000. And I do want to let you guys know that we are open for sponsorship. So if you guys have a message and you'd like to get it in front of our audience, we'd be so grateful to either do a pre-roll, a mid-roll, a post-roll, or a host-read script, which I'm happy to do for you. But as your coach, happy to help you get your podcast off the ground or help you with your existing podcast or create what it is, the brand, the video, whatever it needs to be. I'm great at telling stories. Let's get right into the show because I'm very excited about tonight. Our topic is, the broad topic is, yes, how connecting with animals supercharges your success. So let's talk a little bit about this. And tonight I want to focus on dogs. Yeah, I want to focus on dogs. Why? Dogs are very mystical and magical creatures. You might be saying, John, how can they be mystical and magical? Well, a dog always seems to know how and why you're feeling a certain way. And you might be asking me, hey, John, how is that even possible? How does a dog know like how I'm feeling? How is that even possible? I think it comes down to the fact that they are pretty unique. They're very, very unique. And so how we can tell is it's all about how they operate. So dogs can actually sense a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. They can tell whether you're stressed. They can smell stress. They can smell depression. They can smell fear. They can also smell people being happy and people that are in a great. So they can feel people in a great mood. Dogs can smell happiness, and dogs can smell fear. Right? They can smell fear. And so you may be asking me, John, how is this even possible? How does a dog smell fear? Well, so they're able to smell changes in human breath and sweat, and they're highly accurate. They can identify chemical odors that people emit when they're stressed. Uh, Dogs can smell stress in humans. What does a dog do when it senses stress? Well, um, like stressed people, they may have dilated pupils, or they might blink rapidly, like this, like that. Okay, we'll stop doing that. They may open their eyes really wide, like that. Okay. They Their ears, they're usually relaxed. They're going to be alert, like really, like an attention, like they're pinned back against the head, changing in their postures. Um, Dogs can smell anxiety. Dogs can detect changes in odors that lets them know when people are feeling stressed. And experts are saying that dogs can be trained to help reduce a person's anxiety when they detect these scents. So dogs are very accurate. And this is something that has really taught me a lesson this week because I didn't know this. Doing these shows, I'm always learning. And so they can smell a lot of things. They can recognize pheromones when people become aroused and other scents associated with people engaging in intimacy. But there's no evidence that dogs understand what is actually happening, is affection or anything of that nature. Can dogs smell negative energy? They certainly pick up on things like this, and they withdraw, and you'll see it in their eyes. Can dogs smell ADHD? Well, dogs can use their sense of smell to detect and increase in sweat production. And this tells your dog that you are active and getting anxious or fidgety. And your dog can provide help with this by being calm and consistent for you. So I think these are very important things, very similar to the horse. We learned from Zachary last night that a horse can detect your heart. What was it, four something away? A horse can detect your heart 4 feet away. They have incredible hearing, and 4 feet away. So horses will synchronize their heartbeats to other horses in the herd in order to sense danger more quickly. And recent studies have shown that they use these tactics in domesticated life as well. So horses can mirror heart rates of other horses. Horses can mirror a human's heart rate. A study recently showed that a horse can mimic the heart rate of a person touching them. Along with dogs and cats, horses have been added to the list of animals that are emotionally responsible to humans. Now, I said emotionally responsible, right? And they can detect stress. I think what's interesting about a dog is that, you know, they have this great demeanor and they can sense whether you're a person that, is in harmony with them. They can tell whether you're going to be a danger. I think these are all great things, but a lot of people don't understand like why this happens or how this happens. And it happens because the dog is very sensitive to things in your life, sounds, motions, positions, but smells. Now, people asking this all the time. Why is it dogs follow everywhere? Well, they want to know what's going on. Dogs are inquisitive and love to know what's going on, and they follow you around because to them, you're the person in the know, and they want to get to know everything about you and the world. So, um, why does my dog sniff so much? You probably ask. Well, they're gaining all sorts of information about us. They know if we're familiar or a stranger. They know what scents we have attracted while we've been away. And they know if we're experiencing changes in hormones, such as those that occur during pregnancy, etc. And so dogs are pretty amazing. So licking is natural for a dog and instinctive behavior to dogs. For them, it's a way of grooming and bonding. It's a way of shaking your hand. Your dog may lick you to say, "Hey, I love you," or "Hey, I'm friends with you." Pretty cool, right? To get your attention, to help soothe themselves if they're stressed, to show some empathy and some compassion. Why do dogs stare at me? Well, that's a good question. Just as humans stare into the eyes of someone they adore, dogs will stare at their owners to express affection. I think that is like priceless. Whenever I visit a dog and that dog just like stares at me like that, it's like those puppy dog eyes. Um, it's amazing. Dogs can sense when somebody is not good. Studies show that dogs prefer generous, kind, and helpful humans, and they try to stay away from those that are not. Dogs do like to tilt their head, as you probably know. Um, Social dogs that enjoy human interaction usually tilt their head more often to encourage the continuation of the conversation, and prolong the human experience. Dogs also like belly rubs. It's a place they might not always be able to scratch themselves. So they're awfully grateful when we can lend a hand to do that. Dogs like tug of war. It mimics natural behavior. And on top of all that, a tug of war is popular among puppies because it mimics their behavior in tearing meat or carcasses apart. And it's something that they just enjoy doing. Uh, Dogs, like I said, are pretty amazing creatures. And dogs, they always say, are man's best friend, right? But what I think is interesting about a dog is that that dog will know who you are, come back to you without even seeing you. The dog will know it's you because the dog can smell you. Now, you might be asking me, how far away can a dog smell you? Well, it depends on the conditions, such as the wind and the type of scent, but they have been reported to smell objects and people over 12 miles away. Wow. So that means their olfactory systems are probably pretty tuned up as they work well, and they can be trained to pick up odors as little as a very small, tiny peck of something. We've seen dogs help the law enforcement agencies with narcotics and things like that. And so, how long do you think a dog can pick up a human scent? Well, the majority of, let's say, successful scent trails um, will be found from the lost person or criminal hours or a few days old. So that's why it's important to get the dog out there right away to see if the dog sniffs something. Um, Dogs also can not only sniff, but they can hear. That's right. They can hear. And that's amazing. I just think when you are in a dog's world, it's like they appreciate it. They appreciate it. And dogs, they can hear quite well. Dogs and people hear about the same at low frequencies, around 20 hertz. And it changes at high frequencies sounds where dogs hear up to 7 to 100 kilohertz, much better than people, where we can only hear at 20 kilohertz. So dogs hear frequencies, sound frequencies, that is, at least 3 times as high compared to humans. And you might have wondered how these special silent dog whistles work. Well, they make a high frequency sound that dogs can hear, but we can't. And because dogs can hear higher frequencies than us, there are a lot more sounds that might catch or annoy your dog's attention. I think when we think about a dog, we have to realize that it's our intention that gets us to go from point A to point B. And you see, the thing with a dog is you can't fake what you want with a dog. You cannot fake it. You can't. You can't fake it. And if you can't fake it, then you must have to be a human, true person. You must. I think dogs have always loved humans. And you might say, John, why do dogs love humans? Um, they have found evidence that the oxytocin enhances social motivation in dogs to approach and interact with their dogs. So your level of oxytocin uh, is like a magnet to your dog. So that's why people that are in good attitudes and have a good behavior will attract their dog. So there are other signs from outside the brain that Japanese researchers have found. Higher levels of oxytocin, they call it the love hormone, quote unquote. And in dogs, their owners spend time looking into each other's eyes. And this has a very profound effect to bond them almost immediately. And a dog just sort of knows that we're up to being a good person. They also know if we're not up to being a good person. So it's like this detector that's inside a dog. The more that I had been around dogs and the more that I got to be comfortable with the dog, the more that I felt relaxed and the more that the dog, because I wasn't always comfortable around dogs. But I think when you start to find one or two that treat you well, you start to change your persona, your perception about dogs and what they mean to you and what they mean to the world and how they can change our experiences like that. I mean, I think that's something that's very, 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 very priceless. All right. So definitely, check that out. I hope you guys have enjoyed another Inspirations for Your Life show as much as I have. We're on a mission, ladies and gentlemen. Our next mission is, yes, our next mission is going to be 50,000 downloads. We're over 30,000 downloads right now, and I know you can help me get to 50,000 downloads. We're creating some amazing content, and connecting with animals is something that has really enlightened me this week. I never know where these topics come from. They just sort of pop in my head one morning, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk about dogs. I'm going to talk about animals, how they connect. And then people just sort of pop into my life that connect to that. Now, of course, I interview my guest pre-chats many, many months before, but the idea for the show sometimes comes up to me like, a few weeks before, or a topic that'll resonate with that topic. So those are pretty cool things. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C Morley, serial entrepreneur, your podcast host and your podcast coach. So if you have a podcast, you're trying to get it off the ground, you need some branding, you need some video intros, outros, you need to grow that podcast. If one's already existing or you need guests, reach out to me. I would love to be able to help you and create some amazing content for you. So have a fantastic rest of your night. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow with our final closing show for, yes, this amazing, amazing topic, which is how connecting with animals supercharges your success. All right. Have yourself an amazing rest of your night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Be well.